The Tampa Bay Derby is our lone Derby prep this weekend. It's a Grade 3 run at a mile and a 16th for 3-year-olds, and it's the 11th race on Tampa's Saturday card. And we'll take a look at the field, and we see the Sam F. Davis winner, No More Time, is back, as well as Domestic Product, who had a good second in the Holy Bull. Interesting to note that they moved him here, and he didn't run in the Fountain of Youth. You've got Grandmo the First, who's been on the Florida circuit. Sturdy, Rapoli Stables, a closer, and if you look at this field, it looks like a carbon copy of the Sam F. Davis. Sturdy, the deep closer from Rapoli, and we've got Gimme Liberty, who's a maiden in here, an interesting and prospect, and then you have Good Money, who's another Chad Brown, and Heartened, a Todd Pletcher trainee who just is coming off a maiden win. We've also got Crazy Mason, who ran the Sam F. Davis, a little disappointing as well. So we'll look at them. We'll take a look one at a time. And I think the early pace runners, the E's here, are cheap speed and nothing more. Ever Do It. We lost the rider in the Sam F. Davis last time, and he jumped the rail. I'll assume since he's back in this race, he's okay. But he just doesn't look to me like class-wise he's a pretty good fit. And the only way he could win this race on the front is on the front end, and you've got No More Time sitting right there. So Ever Do It, it to me is a pass. Katira Vizcaya had a bad break last time, and if you watch it from the front view, just never could get into position. Just got blocked at every tier, but not in a way to tell me that this horse had a lot more in the tank. Did close well, but I don't see the top end. This one did win at Saratoga, and that's certainly a positive, but really hasn't built on it. And that's what you want to see for 3-year-olds. So to me, Katira Vizcaya, cheap speed, nothing more, and I'll pass. Domestic Product certainly showed something in the Holy Bull, closing late. But note they did have to take this one from the clouds to close in. And I never like to see that out of a 3-year-old because that tells me that they're thinking more picking up a check than they are winning the race, particularly when you consider Gulfstream and a mile, one turn is so speed favoring. So I do wonder about this one's ability to run a little closer to the pace effectively. That's my one concern. However, it's Chad Brown, second off the layoff, and did have a career high at 3. So Domestic Product will have to be more forwardly placed, and if he can build off that last race, is certainly a win candidate here. No More Time has the exact same scenario he had last time. I believe he's going to get to the lead. He should have it his own way. The cheap speed's not going to bother him a whole lot. And then it'll be just a question if he can build off the Sam F. Davis. And I see no reason why he can't. His 2 starts this year, the first one he was hopped at the break and he had all kinds of problems but closed real well. And that's why we liked him for the Sam F. Davis. And he validated us and he came out and ran a really solid race. If he runs back to that and builds on it, he's going to win this one again, I think. So No More Time we like a lot in this spot. Tactically, he's got everything his own way. Harden just won his maiden for Todd Pletcher. And note they did start this one on turf, moved him to dirt. And when watching that race, first of all, he didn't really beat anybody. And secondly, he looks like a grinder to me. He's got kind of that one-paced, wear-you-down type of race in him. And I don't think that's a very good fit here. He's certainly eligible to move forward, but we haven't seen much out of the Todd Pletcher 3-year-olds this year. Save for Agate Road was pretty good in the Sam F. Davis. So Harden, I think, to me, is an iffy horse. I think the price will be too short, and I'm going to use him on the bottom of the deep exotics and nothing more. I just don't like him in this spot. Give Me Liberty, on the other hand, is a career maiden, true enough, and just came out running at Oaklawn, and it wasn't a slot, but I liked what I saw from this horse. He rated pretty well and had some kick late, and as a 3-year-old, he's eligible to move forward off of that, and if he can, I think he offers a really good price. He should, and he'll be sitting just off the leaders, and then if he can build off of it, he's got a chance here. So Give Me Liberty, I think, is one that you have to use for value. Good Money is a Chad Brown trainee and is coming off a maiden win. Chad Brown is 38% with horses, 3-year-olds running at their first route in their second start. So I think it's a good bet that Good Money is going to run a solid effort here. It's always a great sign to see Chad Brown reach out and get Erod Ortiz. And note he put him here instead of on Domestic Product, although he does have Tyler Gaffalione. There's no no slouch either. So Good Money, I think, is logical to move forward here, and I think we definitely need to use him. We'll see if he's going to need a markedly better effort than he had in the maiden. If you note, he was drawing off in the stretch, and there was a closer getting to him late, but it was his debut, so maybe we can give him a bit of a pass. We'll need to build on it. Very likely he can. Crazy Mason, I didn't like that Sam F. Davis at all. If you note the race prior to that, he came way from the clouds and closed like a freight train to win. But stepping up in class, they tried to get him a little more forwardly placed, and it really seemed to sap his late run. So that tells me that class-wise, this one's a bit up against it, and I don't really like him. If you want to use him all the way in the bottom of the try of the super, fine, but that's the extent of it. I'm really down on Crazy Mason after that last race. Grand Mo the First is one that seems to have me, if you look at his figures, seems to have plateaued a bit. He did debut at 3 with a career high, but it wasn't much better than he had been running at 2. I think he's a horse with a little bit of quality. I think in this race, given his running style, he should be able to rate, and he's good enough that he can get into the money. But I would say that's the extent of it. I can't see him. It doesn't look to me like he's going to take a move forward that would put him in win contention. So underneath, to me, is the extent of the use with Grand Mo the First. Sturdy is kind of the Agate Road 2, the same thing. You know, he's Ripoli Stables and he's a deep closer. He's in another spot, much like Agate Road and the Sam F. Davis, where the track is against him. It's a speed-favoring track, and no more time it's likely going to be on the lead alone and tough to catch. However, Sturdy's shown some good back class. He had a good second against Domestic Product, and I think it's logical to assume that he will run a solid race and will probably be coming late, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get up in time to win this. So Sturdy, to me, is a logical use, but for underneath. So if we look at our wagering strategy, I think No More Time is, again, the horse to beat. I think it's an exact same carbon copy scenario of the Sam F. Davis, and he'll be alone in the lead, and he'll be catch me if you can. So we're going to use him as our primary win candidate. For value, I like Give Me Liberty. I think you're going to get a nice price. I liked what I saw from that last race. He is still a maiden, that's true. But look at this field. Hey, it's entirely possible that a maiden can win this. Look at what Lemon Muffin did in the Honeybee over at Oaklawn for the coach. So I'm not going to let that dissuade me. What I'm looking for are horses who have the potential to move forward. And I think Give Me Liberty is one of them. And at a price, why not? Go across the board. Won't hurt. So we'll key No More Time in an exacta box with 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to box 5 and 7, Domestic Product, and No More Time is the logical 2. So if we get No More Time on top, Domestic Product second, we double up. Then we're going to do a trifecta, 7 on top with 3, 4, 5. And then we'll have a spread trifecta using the later runners, 7 on top with 3, 4, 5, with 1, 3, 4, 5, 9, and 10. So we'll throw Heartened in there with Grand Mo the First and Sturdy. And I'll just throw in there, you want to put in an exacto 7-10 with Sturdy in second. I do it cold. I don't think he can win this race coming from way back, but it is possible. So I'd offer that as an additional spread. I think being up near the lead is where you want to be, and I think there's some good runners here that may negate a closer's chance to get up for second. So to me, Sam F. Davis 2, the same thing. No More Time, the one to beat.